Hey guys, this is Lisa from NYC Gal Out. So let's talk about Real Housewives of Orange County, season 18, episode 3. We picked up where we left off last time, which was that Gina and Jen had met up for like coffee and they were talking about what their beef was. And Gina got really upset because she felt like Jen was just making excuses, but Gina was like, you're basically making me look like a piece of shit because I vouch for you. She didn't have to do a credit check or anything like that because Gina vouched for her. And the thing is, I totally side with Gina on this, and the other ones could see it too, but at the same time they're trying to be sympathetic to Jen. Even Tamara says, I see it from both points. I understand that, like, Jen, she never dealt with her own finances. She never had any control of her own finances. Everything was, under her husband's name, and basically she was like financially dependent on him. So like she basically doesn't know what to do. And so from that perspective, they are trying to be sympathetic to her because all of these women at one point or another went through something similar, because most of them are divorced themselves and had a very tumultuous divorce themselves. However, they also understand it from Gina's perspective, which is that, you're not the only one. You're not the only woman in Orange County or even in America who has gone through something like that. But most of them try to pick up their life and do what needs to be done. They don't try and go find another sugar daddy. I mean, they didn't say it like that, but you get the gist of it. And I do feel like Jen, she's not really trying to improve her situation. What she's trying to do, in my opinion, I feel like she's trying to land another man to take care of her. And the problem is she is a much older woman now. You have an easier time trying to do something like that in your 20s and even in your 30s. It gets a little harder trying to do that in your 40s with a lot of kids. I felt like Gina was trying to explain that to her, that, instead of trying to get all glammed up, maybe you should be working on your resume instead. And again, she didn't say it like that, but I'm saying it like that. Bottom line, the woman needs to get a job, and she talks about, like, I don't know, she's doing some yoga thing with whatever. But Tamara even says, it's a hard business. And look, Tamara should understand this better than anybody. I don't know what the hell Eddie does, but it doesn't seem like he's the breadwinner. It seems like Tamara is the breadwinner of their relationship. And Tamara, she has spoken openly about this. When she got fired from the OC, the first thing that they did was put the house that they were living in on the market because they could no longer afford the mortgage. I don't know how well the gym is doing or not doing. She spoke a little bit about it, and it does not seem like Jenna is doing anything besides from whatever yoga thing she has going on with her business. Look, these housewives, every single one of them, they do a fucking podcast. Jen should do a podcast. There is a large platform for Bravo Levities to have a podcast. She should do something because her yoga business is not doing it. And, this is basically, again, what Tamara did, like she got fired. She couldn't afford the house that she was living in. They put it on the market, they sold it, and then they downsized to what they were able to afford. She started doing her podcast, and now she actually has something to fall back on if she gets fired from the OC again. And I think the question on everybody's brain is, why would you lease a home or rent a home that you can't afford? Jen, what she said in her confessional, it really didn't make sense to me, because I guess she was trying to throw shade at Gina by saying, well, Gina, of all people, should understand what my situation is like because she was living in a studio. They call it something else, a casita. Okay, maybe that's what they call it out in California, but in the East Coast, we call it a studio. I think she was trying to shade Gina by saying like, oh, well, she should understand more than anybody because she was living in a casita. Listen to me, that just makes Jen look like an idiot, because to me, that's Gina showing herself to be like an adult, like doing what she needs to do, handling business. I could no longer afford what I was able to before. I no longer have the home that I had before. So now I'm living in a home where my living room, my kitchen, my dining room, and my bedroom is all in one area. That to me is her handling business. Just like Jen's mentality though, it's like, she's sympathetic to you because, yeah, she downsized to living in a studio, and you are not downsizing into living in like even a one-bedroom apartment. You are trying to maintain the lifestyle that you had without any money. That's like, you are a squatter. That is like a squatter. Like you're trying to live rent-free, basically. Anyway, so she needs to figure out something more to do than just getting a paycheck from Bravo, because Andy Cohen always says, do not depend on that Bravo paycheck. Do not depend on that. Use your platform on the Real Housewives to launch a business, launch a career, sell cookbooks, sell your memoir, sell a makeup line, a beauty line, open up a freaking boutique, do a podcast, whatever. Use it as a launching platform for your business, for your promotion, for your brand. But do not depend on that Bravo paycheck because it is not secure. Okay. Next thing, Shannon and Emily, they go to a sexy photo shoot for Emily, and Shannon tells Emily about the gym that Alexis and John Jansen was going to, which was like Shannon's gym, and apparently they ended up getting kicked out, and then John was like having a meltdown and saying like, this is all Shannon's fault, this is all Shannon's fault. So she's telling her version of it to Emily, and then in a simultaneous event or whatever, Alexis, Tamra, and Jen, they're all dog walking or something, and she's telling her version of the events and whatever else. But it's like, guys, legit, this guy's not even good looking. I mean, like, they're fighting over somebody like that, or I don't even know what they're fighting over, but like, he's not even good looking. So like, I don't know. I like, ugh. Anyway, but legit, this guy is like, I don't even know. There's something wrong with his teeth. I feel like his teeth are like too white, too straight. Somebody told me they were dentures. Are they dentures? It looks weird. I don't know. When people put in like teeth, it just looks weird. Like even like Rachel Fuda, and like her teeth looks weird. And then John Fuda, his teeth looks weird. Everybody's teeth looks weird. Stop putting in dentures. Like, dentures are meant for like old people and senior citizens in like nursing homes that like their teeth fell out and now they need dentures, because otherwise it just looks weird on people. Am I the only one who thinks that way? Do you guys think that way too? It looks weird. Margaret's teeth looks really, really weird. It's like her teeth are bigger than her face. It looks weird. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know what's going on with like John Jansen's teeth, but it looks like his dentures are just like, you know, because here's the thing with dentures, you know, like the teeth, your teeth, the way your teeth is, it also shapes your jaw. So your jawline and the way your face looks changes depending on your teeth. So when you're putting on these like weird ass dentures or implants or whatever the hell these people are doing nowadays, it also changes your jaw and it makes you look weird. Anyway, so I don't even think the guy's good looking. Is John Jansen going to make it onto our TV screen? You know what? I feel like producers know that he's just so thirsty that I don't even think that they want to film him. And the executives and probably the field producers are probably like, oh, you know, this is just going to be a girls only event. Probably best that you don't invite John or whatever else. They'll figure out a way to say it to her, to Alexis, to make her understand that we're not filming John, without saying it directly to her. But I don't see him being in any of the scenes, because I think what they want is the conflict between Shannon and Alexis, but not give that camera time to John. You know, I personally, I don't feel like producers actually really like John on that much at all. So now we also find out a little bit more about Katie. So Katie's 3 older children are from her ex-husband, and then her youngest little boy is with her current husband. She is from Atlanta, Georgia, and of course she knows Sutton, who is also Miss Georgia Peach. So they go out to have lunch. It's Katie, Gina, and Sutton, and Katie has a little bit of whatever it is that she's feeling about Heather, and Katie's telling Sutton that, you know, Heather met her at the Christmas party. She knew who she was, but she was very dismissive of her, and that, you know, she kind of like glanced very quickly at her over her shoulders and then turned her back to her again. And then that when she met Heather, like formally met Heather at Heather's event, she seemed really nice. So she's feeling like a little whatever it is that she's feeling, because she seemed very dismissive of her. I don't even know. I feel like Katie's making more out of it than it is. And then she also said something about a picture, that she had liked a picture, and then for whatever strange reason, Heather tagged her in the picture. Again, I feel like Katie is making something out of nothing. I don't know if like producers are telling her that she needs to have like some sort of conflict storyline with one of the castmates or whatever. But I feel like what Katie is getting upset about is very, very petty. Like, I feel like she's trying to make something out of nothing. Even if Heather was being dismissive of her in that initial introduction when they met at Sutton's Christmas party, I don't think it is that energy that she's putting it into. And then with the whole tagging of the picture and whatever, again, I don't think it's that kind of energy that she's trying to make it into. And then we also see a scene, Jen and her boyfriend Ryan at the pool, which I thought was really cringe, whatever. It's like ever since Tamra and her husband Eddie had that naked hot tub scene, it's like so cringe, so gross. Everybody on the OC is trying to like for whatever reason, recreate that cringe as fuck naked bathtub scene. Ugh. Anyway, gross. We also see a scene with Emily and her husband. I guess Emily's on like some sort of health kick and she's trying to get her husband to eat healthier and whatever, and he's feeling whatever way. And these are just filler scenes. I call them filler scenes because there's like nothing of substance to it other than to fill up the 45-minute time slot. The show's an hour long, but it's like 15 minutes of commercial and then it's like 40 minutes of like, bullshit. And then the final scene of the episode is Travis packing up to move out of the house that he was sharing with Gina. It is really sad. I do think that Travis is a good guy. I do think they care about each other, but that is something that is a very real thing. When you have a toxic ex who is making your life miserable, it can ruin a relationship. And we see this on Real Housewives of New Jersey. Louie's crazy ass Lifetime movie ex, she's basically trying to do to Teresa and Louie. So, Gina and Travis, they've been together for like 4 years and everything, and they were living together, but it's been toxicity in their relationship because of his ex-wife that sometimes you just don't want to deal with it. It is what it is, and that is unfortunate, but it does happen. It's too much. It's just too much. And that is how the episode ends. Is it boring so far? Do you like it? What do you think about what's going on, everything that's going on with Alexis and Shannon? Do you think that is going to be the focus of the storyline, like the overall season, or do you think like there's something else that is going to be like the focus of the season, of the friendship, of whatever? What did you guys think of the opening ceremony of the Summer Olympics? Did you guys watch it last night? If you guys didn't watch it last night, it's available for replay on Peacock if you guys have Peacock. And there you have it, guys. Anyway, before I go, don't forget to hit the like, follow, subscribe, leave me a comment and all that good jazz. And let me know what you guys think of the episode. I'll talk to you later. Bye.